Alright, so this is totally one where if someone walks by in a very awkward or particular fashion, I'm just going to pretend to be on like a, what do you call them, a facial call? Facial recognition technology. I just had to show you the location because it's like I drove all the way out here to be on location at the Frozen Food Center. Now I'm going to kind of retreat to the shadows because this is where I wrote this poem, and I've been hesitating doing it for a while, but I like this curvature glass thing. I've been hesitating doing it for a while because it's a pretty negative one, and I've been trying to be very uplifted, but the amount of, I guess I should grab my bag because, you know, there are humans everywhere, and humans will human. You know, I'm out here in the human world, so there's nothing we can do about that. Some of them cool, some of them not so cool. But based on the human destitution that I saw in Reno and California, just thousands of people living in a fashion that is totally unacceptable and totally not conducive to survival, got me thinking some dark thoughts about how do we help each other, and why do we prop celebrities on satin pillows still, and even give a moment's thought to them suing companies they're already getting 20 million from because they want a few more million. Or like, why do we even talk about these things? Just all the news today was celebrity, or the news feed, whatever my phone was feeding me, was all celebrity selfies in bikini pics from various places. Like, why are we allowing this and not helping people? Just dark thoughts. So I don't know, I am exhausted from my trip and exhausted with myself. I'm just sick of myself. I don't know what kind of job to get. I read things, manager of such and such, lowly worker of so and so incorporated. I'm so scared to jump in again or ask somebody to pay me to do something or be an expert of something. I'm just quite scared. So I couldn't write anything new today. Basically, my brain was just baking in the heat and beating itself up on autopilot. Just continual self-beat up mode. So I came here on location to the Frozen Food Center because I've looked at this one a million times and gone, it's a good poem. It was an intense moment, but it's a little dark. And it's okay to fluctuate between that dark and light because that's what life is. And yes, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt because it fits the poem, but I'm sweltering. I'm actually sweltering. Wrote this back when I was working at my mother's boutique, her fashion jewelry passion of soul and spirit and Celtic and Native American and soul sojourn stuff. And it was great. And I met so many people, and I thought it sucked. Isn't that the perspective kicker? Butt kicker? I felt so, like, stomped on by people demanding and returning and complaining. But I was surrounded by people who cared about soul and spirit and sight and sought differently. And that was really unique. So I had a very draining day that was full of a lot of and we did become kind of a counseling office, honestly. Like, people would tell us their deepest, darkest problems and want a few crystals to help with them, and then like 3 hours of free advice, and we would give it to them. But everyone who came in needed something from my soul, and I felt very drained on this day. I remember it well, obviously, because the poem will illustrate why it was so memorable. And I walked back to my car, which was parked over by the library where the homeless people usually are. And I got harassed a few times, so I was already just really not feeling the day, feeling the vibration of life. And I saw this instance occur. Also, the amount of horrible, terrible, ruthless driving I saw on our trip, and the amount of roadkill in combination with that ruthless driving kind of got me thinking about this one too. Just that none of us knows our own power or effect on others, on life, and some of us care and some of us don't. Some of us notice and some of us won't. But here it is. I'll just give it to you because I'm very hot here and I still have to go to the grocery store. It's called I Watched Him Die, Bite by Bite, His Soul Pecked Away in the Parking Lot. What a title, right? I watched him die, bite by bite, his soul pecked away in the parking lot. Feather fiasco, talons of torture, throbbing throat. Wide open. He still had it in him to squirm, squeeze out little screaming pleas. I had to freeze on the scene. It gripped deep my gut. This mighty predator, he held the poor fellow's face to the concrete. The world of man swirling, swirling. A girl with a soft star shirt passed by. A girl with a soft star shirt passed by. Andrea? Question mark? Maybe? She caught the last of it. I was too distracted to really learn her name. A moment we shared and hung on to. The poetry plummeted to my loins. This is death. The little one didn't stand a single chance, not a whisper of one. Advancing the strong, oh, how the meek fall. The weak they tumble too. I could see his tendons, purple and terrible blue. The tormented last moments of a songbird. By the by, the falcon did fly with his sweet-tasting, blood-drenched catch. There was a love in it. He stuck claws deep in the other guy's eye sockets. They belonged to each other in this way. So you can see why I've hesitated on that one. But I really do love it. And I picked up these two little pieces of plant near the dead songbird that looked like feathers, sort of, and talons. They look like feathers and talons. Feather fiasco, indeed. So yeah, I can remember just about every second of that. I've never actually witnessed an animal take another animal's life like that. And I guess I didn't include it much in the poem, but I do remember on a poetic and potent note that the falcon kept looking at Andrea, or I think her name was Andrea, and I, looking right at us, like, yeah, this is the food chain, little girls. Like, he had this attitude, he had this strength and this dominance and this will not back down for you humans energy. And it was unforgettable. Like any very intense moment with a human would be the way he looked at me. Like, don't question me. This is how I eat. And I couldn't walk away or look away. I was frozen to it. It's weird. I thought I added more descriptions and more words and thoughts than I did. You know, when you reread something and you're like, well, why didn't I include that part? But yeah, I definitely remember almost a drug-like feeling of like, I can't move. I don't want to see this. I don't want to witness this. And I can't get away from it. So I really did like that line, though. There was a love in it. He stuck claws deep in the other guy's eye sockets. They belong to each other in this way. I don't know. That just sort of did it for me. Descriptively. These guys know. No, they don't. They don't know. Alright. There's too many humanoids encroaching, so I guess I'll leave it there. Everything around this place I'm sitting has changed and become trendy and bendy to all the trendy sorts. So that's very depressing. But the frozen food center never changes. People live here, but they never come out, if that makes sense. Like, I know they live here, but you never see them. You never see them walking out. Ever. I mean, I never, ever, ever have. But the frozen food center doesn't change. Everything else has shifted so much. And there's a whole lot of homeless people over there living in the parking lot. And then there's really, really high-end, high-class, very hideous, odious-looking apartments built right across the street from that. So it's a mishmash. It's the food chain, little girl. So I'm going to go take off this soft star shirt. Andrea, she wore a soft star shirt. A soft shirt with stars upon it. So there's more normal-looking people coming. I shall away. More poetry another day.